Hello and welcome to the As Yet to Be Named show. Yeah, I haven't figured out as yet what to call this show. Thank you so much for watching the first edition, I guess was my 2020 review. And I wasn't sure if I was going to do it on the regular, but many of you commented and said to me, no, you need to do this on the regular. So here I am, episode 1, looking at the first few weeks of 2021. And you'll be forgiven for thinking that this was actually the end of 2021 because so much has already happened. It's like 2020 went back to the office all year's night and 2021 was just sitting going, bro, where you going? We got this already. Get out. Before the clock even struck midnight, 2020 was dealing Barbados its final hand.
But I want to talk for a minute to you because I did promise you that as easily as we know how to press the accelerator, we know how to press the brakes. The time for brake pressing has come upon us. We told you that we will never wait until we have a whole set of cases in order to take action. We also told you that any day that we have cases that we don't know how we got there or how the persons received the virus, then we would be taking immediate action to press brakes. That moment has come.
I mean, this was before midnight, right? It's like 2021 just went, I tell ya, I hear. On Boxing Day, some Bajans just decide we enjoying ourselves. We had a rough year. The year nearly finished. We gotta enjoy ourselves. So they went cruising, they went crawling, and COVID was just like, what compounded the issue? Prison officers were at many of these events. So what happened when they went back to work? Guess. So now Barbados is in the middle of a crisis. The prison is in a crisis with many of the inmates and prison officers contracting COVID-19. Many companies whose employees went to the different cruises and crawls and what's not, many of them had to be tested and their companies had to shut down. And Barbados itself had to go on a shutdown of sorts. Not a full-on lockdown as before, but a lockdown of sorts. But let's go a little bit deeper on this one. It's easy to blame the cruises. It's easy to blame the bus crawls and all these different type of things. Barbados, along with some of the other Caribbean islands, have decided to leave their borders open. Why? Because understandably, tourism is a huge part of the Caribbean's economies. There's no getting away from it. We know this. Our economies would be decimated had it not been for tourism. So some of the countries decided we're going to keep our borders open. And we're going to keep our borders open to the United States and, of course, the United Kingdom. But what's actually happening in those countries?
Our headlines for you today: stay at home. That's the message across the UK as England and Scotland go back into lockdown.
Our hospitals are under more pressure from COVID than at any time since the start of the pandemic.
This morning, predictions of a deadlier new year are now a reality. The nation setting a new record this week of more than 4,000 deaths in just one day. And on Friday, hitting nearly 270,000 new infections, an all-time high.
At what point does what is happening in the United Kingdom and the United States become too much? What are the thresholds? And this is something that I don't think any government across the region has been talking to us about, to be honest with you. At what point will these markets become too risky for us? Because in the UK, you can't even go to the pub. You can't even go to the store. Police stopping you if you get in your car and drive too far away from home. But you can hop on a plane and go to the Caribbean though. Go figure. But even as Barbadians were digesting the gravity of the situation, Barbados' Attorney General Dale Marshall and the Caribbean's very own Uncle Phil was letting everybody know what he had on his mind.
Brandy and Panani.
Huh?
Brandy and Panani.
Come again?
Brandy and Panani.
Oh. Anything else?
No underwear.
Listen, it caused a big stir to hear the Attorney General actually calling out the names of some of the vets in Barbados. But he seemed to be helping out some men with their lyrics though. Because one of my friends posted this. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I was like, but it wasn't just Barbados though. Right across the region, we saw activities happening that should not have been happening given the times that we're in, as much as we wanted to celebrate Christmas. We got to make sure we keep ourselves safe. While the trainees were busy getting in the last set of parang, this happened.
Good evening. We interrupt Beyond the Tape to bring you some breaking news. TV6 News understands Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has been hospitalized. The Express newspaper is reporting it's due to a cardiac condition and that Prime Minister Rowley is said to be in stable condition.
This is significant not just for Trinidad, but for the entire region. Because Dr. Rowley is now CARICOM's chair. Yes, I know we don't like it. I don't like it either that CARICOM changes its chairmanship every 6 months. But I think Prime Minister Montley of Barbados showed how much can be achieved in 6 months as far as communication is concerned, and actually as far as advancing some of the issues that CARICOM wants to advance. And I got to be honest, I got high hopes for Prime Minister Dr. Rowley as well. But as we know, this is Trinidad. So while this is a moment that everyone should be rallying around, we know some people won't.
Others have spoken talking about the collapse of one sector or the other. But it is true what MP Padarat said. Everything has collapsed. The energy sector has collapsed. The economy has collapsed. The health sector has collapsed. The education sector has collapsed. And it looked like some of them in the government collapsing too.
Wow. On a lighter note, how old y'all actually think this man is? Take a good look. How old do you think Prime Minister Dr. Rowley of Trinidad is? I mean, whatever in the water in Trinidad, I want some. But before I tell you how old he is, Trini fellas, I feel for one of them. Seriously, I do. Because from what I understand, the ladies in Trinidad binge watching this one here, watching season 1 of Bridgerton 2-3 times. And you know when they're watching Bridgerton, they're looking at y'all like, I can assure you. And then when they finish binge watch that, they're going and watch the news and they're seeing this one here, look. And when they see he, they're looking at y'all like, you better look like he when you 71 here. Let me know and know. Yes, 71. But I alright though, because yeah, my wife binge watching this one here too. And then when I turn on the news, it's this one. I good. But Dr. Rowley, I hope you're doing well. From all reports you are, and I can see you're already in the saddle at CARICOM. Get well soon, sir. And continuing in 2021, La Soufrière decided I'm going to make an appearance.
The La Soufrière volcano, which is still going through an effusive eruption. As we hear in this report from Larissa Pugsley-Kidd, the new dome in the crater continues to grow daily, and while no evacuation orders have been given, officials from the National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO, have paid several visits to communities in the red and orange zones to speak to residents on their level of preparedness in the event they have to move to safer grounds.
By all reports, though, it's not as bad or as serious as maybe we thought in the beginning. Let's hope it continues that way. People of St. Vincent, stay strong and be safe. So across the world, we're seeing people getting the vaccine.
Blow against coronavirus is all set to begin in an hour from now.
Godt, så har vi vaccineret den første. Så håber vi, det virker, så vi kan...
Jamen ved du hvad, så kommer jeg
komme videre.
Bøger hos dig.
Muy bien. Ana fini, ma belle.
Mit dem heutigen Tag die Pandemie.
In the last few minutes, the UK's mass vaccination programme against coronavirus has begun.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo gave a televised update earlier showing critical care nurse Sandra Lindsay receiving one of the first doses of the COVID-19 vaccine in the United States.
So the vaccine is out there. It's in many countries, but not in the Caribbean. And this is despite us being part of the COVAX Alliance. Actually, I think the vaccine is in the Caribbean, but in the Cayman Islands. What's different about the Cayman Islands? Oh yeah, it's a British overseas territory. So none of the independent countries across the region have it. Now this is interesting Because I remember last year when Barbados Prime Minister said, hey, we go in Republic. So many people in Barbados, across the region, and in the United Kingdom were going, but why are you going to go do that? Because then when you need help, you're going to need the British, right? So why are you going to become a republic? I think we need some help now. We're the British now. The only thing I want to say to someone in Britain is simply, what have you done for me lately? And if they persist, I forget you. But probably I'll use the explicit version. So Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness recently called out the richer countries in the world for hoarding the vaccine and not allowing some of the poorer countries in the world to have access to the vaccine. He's got a point. You see, the richer countries of the world, which represent only 13% of the world's population, has ensured that they have pre-ordered and have their hands on what could potentially be more than half the doses of the vaccine that will be produced this year. I see CARICOM now is also calling for a United Nations summit on this very subject. But even as we look at that, and they're absolutely correct, let's look at one thing here though. Where is CARICOM in procuring the vaccines for our region? They're nowhere. Here's where the EU is. Here's where the African Union is. You see, once again, CARICOM has dropped the ball when it comes to actually operating as one bloc for the betterment of the entire region. So even though CARICOM countries are part of COVAX, they're all part of COVAX as individual countries. So that means as individual countries, they all have to go procure the vaccines individually. We didn't operate like the European Union. We didn't operate like the African Union. We decided that we're going to go it alone, as we always do. This is an area where CARICOM has simply let us down. I've said it before. If during these COVID times, CARICOM does not understand the need for us to be united and for us to operate on the global stage as one, we will never see it. Because while the vaccines are all over the place, the Caribbean has yet to receive any. CARICOM, simply not good enough. So what else happened in the first 2 weeks of 2021? Oh yeah.
Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength and you have to be strong. We will never give up. We will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft involved. Hold up, man! Stop the steal! It's our country. We want it back. Fuck these Democrats. Where's that? This is our country! We will fucking kill you! We will kill you!
So the Americans gone batshit crazy. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. What's going on in America is some real Jim Jones-ish. Honestly. You believe that? Bare lies, you know. But all these people willing to do this rubbish. I actually don't intend to spend a lot of time on this story, right? And the reason being is we adopted a Caribbean first policy on this show. So that means shithole news topics. That said, it was bare white privilege that happened there in the United States, right? 3, 4, 5 people died, 1 police officer, and that's sad. But you remember what it looked like when Black Lives Matter was protesting, right? I didn't think you guys forgot. So I ain't really going into all the details about Trump telling lies and stolen elections and all that kind of stuff. You want to know about that stuff? Go watch BBC, NBC, Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, wherever you get your news, go watch that. But one thing I can say though, And this is going to all my friends on Facebook, on Twitter, IG, wherever it is. If you are the kind of person that feel the need to say all lives matter when you hear Black Lives Matter, go straight to Facebook, check your friends, find my name, and hit unfriend. No, seriously, I will even know that you're gone. Just go quietly. And that's all I'm going to say on that. And that's it for me. Hope you guys really enjoy this edition. Leave me a note in the comments. Just let me know what you guys think. Also, let me know what you think I should call this show as well. I still haven't figured it out yet. Maybe I will by next time around. Until then, have a good one. Sweetie, I got the brandy. Will you bring it to this party? Oh. Mind the business.